This tutorial is on iTunes U. You want to select the iTunes U app on your iPad. Once you do that, if this is the first time you are ever using this app, you'll see a little bit different of a background. You will probably have the library open, and in the library you see like a virtual bookcase. It's probably empty with a white note in the middle. You can click on that white note or the tab that says catalog to go to the page that you currently see. You can scroll down to the bottom of that page until you see where it says enroll. You want to click on enroll because this is a class that is private. You have an enrollment code that you need to enter here. So get that enrollment code from your instructor, type it into the box, and then you would hit the next button. After doing so, you will see the class pop up, and then you will need to select the tab that says Request Enrollment. It'll take a few minutes for your instructor to then go into the course and approve you before you will see the course pop up on your virtual bookcase. It actually will go on your bookcase instantly, but it will have a waiting approval, so you won't be able to open it until that tab goes away. Once you are able to get in there, you can click on the EOC Prep, and you have different tabs on the right. And so we're going to start with the Info tab. Think of the Info tab much like you would the table of contents or the index in a book. Really great information to reference, but it's not something that you would use all the time. And so in the Info tab to the left, and remember you have to be in landscape mode when using iTunes U to see all of the extra information pop up on the left. So if you're not seeing overview, instructor, or outline, check the orientation of your iPad and go ahead and turn it to landscape so that you can see these things. So you can scroll through the different things on the left. So the overview, the instructor, you can look at the outline where you see details about what we're doing over the 4th and 5th 6 weeks as we prepare for the EOC. Go ahead and select the tab on the right that says Posts. This is going to be where you spend much of your time. Notice that we have details from the 3rd 6 weeks, 4th 6 weeks, and 5th 6 weeks built into this. Go ahead and select the 4th 6 weeks since that's where we will begin. Notice that it doesn't put your post or the things to the right in chronological order, and we want that. And so you want to get in the habit of, at the top, you'll see a tab that says Library, then an icon that looks like a calendar, and then the 3 lines, that would be your Details tab. We're going to click on the calendar first, and you'll see the calendar pop up. And then go ahead and click on the Details tab. So now what it'll do is put your posts in order. And so you see like January 22nd through 25th, and then things that go below that are now listed below that. So you can select these. So like you could click on the January 22nd through the 25th, and that's going to open up that one selection in a bigger window where you can see more details. If you go back a step, just by clicking posts again, then like go to the one that says speeches and poems. So in a post like this, you're going to have the title, of course, you're going to have directions, but then you're also going to have directives or step-by-step instructions of what we're doing. And so you see here where it says read, and then you see a due date beside that so that you understand that we are doing this action. So think of it like action verbs. We are reading this speech on this day. We're then reading a poem on this day. And then you have the next directive, then write a short answer. You have another directive to read, like the I Have a Dream speech. But notice how it has an icon to the right that looks like a little piece of paper. If you click on that tab, it'll open up a window to the attached material. And so here you have the I Have a Dream speech. Now because I've opened this PDF before, it is ready for me to just select. You probably have an arrow pointing down, that would be the download button, and you would just click on that and download that document so that you can then open it on your iPad. And so you would just select it and it will open it for you. And now you can read through the document. If you're needing to open it in another program, you would have that Save and Send button in the top right where you could select other apps that you want to use with this. Well, once you're done, you would just go back. You'll notice under Listen, you can click on that and you'll see where it has a podcast linked. I want you to go ahead and look at the podcast here. It'll take a moment for this to download. But what I want you to notice is that sometimes it takes a while for something to download, so you need to be prepared for that. But also, once you have videos or podcasts and you're listening to them, you can take notes right into the video file. And so you'll notice the tab to the right that says Notes. It will actually open it up in that window for you, and you can take notes right there. And so you have the ability to do that. While this is still downloading, let me also direct you to another thing that is very helpful. Notice that next to read and write and read and listen, you have those squares. Well, as I finish these things, it would be a good idea for you to then check them off. And so it's like a virtual checklist for you to go, okay, I've taken care of this, this is done, it was due. And then these things, like say the due date, if that was past due, it would be in red, so it's really standing out to you. And so then it would just gray it out and let you know that now that's in the past, I've taken care of that. Since this is still downloading, let's go ahead and go on to the Materials tab on the far right. When you click on that tab, what you're going to see is the place where all of the materials in the course are housed. So if you forget where you had a PDF or a podcast or an app or anything like that that we have used, you can go to the Materials tab and easily locate it. You'll see where it has all selected, or you can go specifically to just the videos or just the documents or just any apps that we've referenced here. If you want to go ahead and select the Notes section, you'll notice where you have course notes, you have audio and visual notes, and then you have book notes as well. The book notes would be something like if you had something from iBooks, like a book that you had purchased that was also part of the course, then you would be able to take notes within that. Course notes, you can do that at any time. So say your teacher's talking and you want to take notes, well, you could just click on this. You would tap the plus button, and it would just open up an area for you to then just take notes over whatever it may be that they're talking about. You can go back to notes, and then you have your selections again. If you go back to posts, it appears that our podcast is taking some time to download. And so once we get that up and running, we'd be able to talk about that later. So we will return to that in an additional video later. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you know how to use iTunes U and you can get started with your teacher. Thank you.